Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Wednesday. Mark Kazi here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's a big, cool week, lots of fun stuff to talk about. I'm coming way out of left field and starting with one of my favorite publishers, Archie Comics, today, because this guy is Archie vs. Predator #1. Probably the strangest title you've heard since Archie meets the Punisher, but this book's going to be awesome. A little bit more humorous than the Afterlife stuff, but I'm always talking about what a great job Archie does branching out from their usual things and giving their fan base something interesting, appealing to other comic fan bases out there. Everybody loves Predator, so check out an Archie book this week. In other Archie news is one we've been waiting for a long time. This is Chilling Adventures of Sabrina #2. Spins out of the Afterlife with Archie stuff. If you read the first issue, it left you with a cliffhanger you couldn't believe, and you've been waiting for this #2. If you haven't been reading any of this stuff, you really need to check out Afterlife and this book, Sabrina. Classic horror comics, really fun stuff, not the stuff you expect from Archie. Great stuff. But, of course, Archie has lots of stuff you can't expect. This is Jughead with Archie Double Digest. This is the Archie book that really got me into all this stuff. I love me some Jughead because it's not so much about the dating high school fun that the other Archie books are about. It's more about just eating burgers and playing jokes on Reggie. So funny stuff. And in the classic Archie is your big old Archie Double Digest. Thick, lots of great stories, classic Archie content. So if you've never checked out any of that stuff, this is a good week to take my advice and add an Archie book to your list because they're awesome. And in mainstream news, Convergence is all the talk in the DCU. This is the third issue, though it says #2 on it. There was a 0 a couple weeks ago. It comes every week, Fast and Furious. This one's got 2 Batmen on the cover, so what more do you want? And each week there's lots of Convergence tie-ins like Aquaman, Batman Shadow of the Bat. Going to be a lot of 90s themes running through this week's Convergence books, as you will quickly see. Catwoman, Green Lantern Parallax, Justice League International, the old Carlton guys. I'm a huge fan of Ted Kord Blue Beetle, so I'm really looking forward to reading that one. Convergence Suicide Squad with some classic Amanda Waller. Superboy from the old Death of Superman stuff. Supergirl. Superman Man of Steel. Told you there was a lot of 90s running through all this stuff. The Convergence has been a lot of fun. We've got all the ones from last week, so you can catch up on that, grab this week's stuff. They're all kind of 1 or 2 shots, so you don't have to commit too hard. It's been a lot of fun to check out some of the previous DC universes. Sensation Comics starring Wonder Woman is your previously digital-only, now in print book of the week, just to show you that there's a little more than Convergence out there. And Strange Sports Stories is your DC Vertigo book of the week. It's the new version of an old-school 70s comic that was a lot of fun. Of course, it's a little bizarre, a little out there, but most Vertigo stuff is, so a lot of fun to check that out. Kind of an odds and ends week for the Marvel guys, but as always, a lot of cool stuff. Thor #7. One of the most popular books Marvel has right now. The big mystery of who is the new Thor. Of course, she's part of that, all this Avengers hubbub that's going on. You can read more about this one in our newsletter. Love Me the Destroyer, great classic villain. Miss Marvel is your other Women of the Marvel Universe book this week. This one's also been super, super popular. Every issue sells out of this, so grab the latest issue and see what all the hubbub's about. Legendary Star-Lord is your Black Vortex book of the week. And Nova rounds out your outer space Marvel Universe stuff. Uncanny X-Men from Brian Michael Bendis. Been talking a lot about the good job he's been doing with this one and all new X-Men. The Weekly Wolverines and Spider-Man and the X-Men rounds out your X-Men stuff for the week, and it's actually pretty much your only Spider-Man book this week too. Captain America and the Mighty Avengers with my man Sam Wilson as the all-new Captain America. That and Avengers Millennium, your weekly A-Team book, and Superior Iron Man rounds out your Avengers stuff. You know the movie's right around the corner. All kinds of talk about the Avengers. Loki, Agent of Asgard, and Deathlock, your latest TV star from the Marvel Universe rounds out your Marvel stuff this week. A lot of fun stuff there. Great week for my friends at Dark Horse. You know, I'm always talking about Mike Mignola because he's got a BPRD book just about every week. This is BPRD, Hell on Earth. Abe Sapien was last week. Hellboy 1952 is right around the corner. Great job Dark Horse does with all the Mike Mignola Hellboy stuff. Sergio Aragonis, Gruen Friends, is my other Dark Horse book of the week because I love Sergio and everything he does, and I strongly encourage you to read it too. Sentimental, hilarious, you gotta love some Gru. And speaking of my man Sergio, he's on the cover of Dark Horse Presents, best anthology title out there. You're looking for something new, something different, again, something you don't really have to commit to, Dark Horse Presents is the book for you. Good week for the Image guys. Ed Brubaker is one of my favorite writers in comics. Fade Out is one of Image's big ones, along with Chrononauts from Mark Miller, maybe one of your favorite Image guys. Stray Bullets from David Lapham. Love me some David Lapham. This book is messed up. Don't leave this on your coffee table for kids to read because it's just chock full of gory violence. But it's also one of those books that makes you think. Love David Lapham. And Run, Love, Kill is your #1 first issue gotta have it book of the week from the Image guys. All the other stuff. Bloodshot Reborn is my Valiant book this week. Been talking a lot about the great job Valiant's been doing with their universe. I wanted to call it a relaunch, but it's been launched for a little while now. This is the second run of Bloodshot, one of my favorites from back in the day. John Carter, Warlord of Mars, and The Phantom are my 2 Dynamite books of the week. Excuse me, because you just don't get any more classic than John Carter, Warlord of Mars, and The Phantom. If you're a fan of anything science fiction or anything crime, film noir, you should be reading both of those books because they're awesome. And IDW's got the Doctor Who sweep. 10th Doctor, 11th Doctor, 12th Doctor. Unless you're one of those super old schoolers that like the 3rd Doctor is your favorite or something, then IDW's got the Doctor Who book for you. So check out one or all of those because that's lots of fun. TARDIS time traveling goodness. And a great week for kids books. Simpsons comics. You know, I'm always talking up the great job Bongo does with their Simpsons stuff. Simpsons, Bart Simpson, Futurama. This one, that's Ned opening up Moe's. How awesome is that? Peanuts and Regular Show, both from Kaboom over at Boom Studios. Kaboom does a great job with their all ages line. Peanuts and Regular Show shows you there's a little something for everybody. Lots of great stuff on the list this week, so get down to your local shop, pick up something super awesome. Want to mention that this week is the Big Wow Comic Fest. It is the coolest comic convention in the Bay Area. It's the biggest show we have. Get out there, support your local comic scene. Drop by our booth, say hello. It's going to be really super awesome. It's a big show. Jim Steranko is going to be there. We've got pre-sale tickets that are a little cheaper than at the door. They're going to go fast, so make sure you pick yours up today. Make sure you get out to the show because it's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, I want to mention Free Comic Book Day. Free Comic Book Day is just a couple of weeks away. 2 weeks from Saturday, I think. Saturday, May 2nd. Go watch the Avengers movie on the 1st and then get down to your shop May 2nd. Get a big stack of free stuff. Tell all your friends. Free Comic Book Day. That's all I got for you for this week. Check us out at blackcatcomics.biz. Check us out on Facebook. Check out our cool YouTube channel. Or just get on down here to Rockin' Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.